evening and welcome for another one. I know I'm late or early, depending which way you look at it, but we still have Solan to do. Hopefully this time I'm not going to have a brain aneurysm doing this one. Now, going off last time, we did do all the purples, as you can see. So we managed to get both layers of purple onto the main cloths and the strange burgundy purple onto the back. Now, I do have people in the room with me, so you may hear some slight background noise. If you do, please ignore it because they're talking away and it's completely irrelevant to the stream. So let's start with the fur tones. Fur tones are always the fun ones. And for this one, we've gone for Rakarth flesh because I don't want it quite. It's an off-white, but I don't want it completely off. I don't want it like white. So I'm going to be using a bit of Rakarth flesh and a bit of Administratum grey, basically a light grey. So between two of them, that's what I'm going for the fur tones. The ivory is going to be for, believe it or not, on the front paws here, they've got ruffles in between each one. And those ruffles that are down in the middle are actually ivory as opposed to purple. So I've got to go back in there with an ivory pale then. And we've got reds and oranges for the jewels and the gems, which are encrusted all around the back here, as well as on the head and around the brow section. That's basically where I've got this all around here, as well as a few more that go around the side of that. I think that's supposed to be a belt loop, but going off the reference picture, it's all gem encrusted in gold. So we do have a gold as well. And the nice bright blue to finish it off with the eyes. That's the plan anyway. Let's see how it goes. Doesn't always work, as we found out last time. Good evening, Buzzard and Luis. Hello. Yes, how small is 1 centimetre by 2 centimetres if you want the measurements. So it's 2 centimetres that way by a centimetre that way. So yeah, it is tiny. It is absolutely tiny. But I'll be all right. I have a magnifying glasses. I'm not having a brain aneurysm or a bit of a mental breakdown, so that's good. I don't have any large pieces of news to try and process, so I shouldn't have a complete debacle like I had last time. Although Bill did come up last time, which was nice. I did enjoy that. And I actually went on Bill's last Friday. Was it last Friday? Yeah, that's when the Jake Paul fight was. Last Friday night. So I was up on Bill's channel then. I don't know if I'll ever be asked back up again because he specifically requested for me to make it an adult-only show. And I believe I did so with absolute flying colours. So much so that I don't think he'll ever actually ask me back on. Good evening, Twisted. Good to see you, man. How you doing? Hopefully the cat's not hiding underneath the cupboard anymore. So let's get this picture up first to make sure I am actually doing the right colours in the right blooming places. It does help, doesn't it? Let's get up the old reference pictures. And, oh no, it has. It did go to the right picture straight away and then jump me to the top of the bloody thing. Oh, of course. Now let's find this picture again. It's not easy. And I can't remember what page number it's on. There we go. So the greys are more of the underside. So that means that this colour is more the top sections. Well, let's come back to the stream so I can make sure I am actually in shot for a change. You know, miracles do happen occasionally on this channel, like me getting something in shot. So yeah, Solan is an extra tiny little kitty. I mean, no smaller than all the other cats, but when it comes to amount of detail, Solan is above and by far the most detailed one that I've had to do so far. So paws, legs, and anything else that is remotely fur coloured, even remotely or slightly. Oh, excellent. So you get to paint for a bit now that the cats have gone for a little bit of a lie down and sleep. Now that they've disappeared, it's time for you to have fun. Now, I am on wine rather than tea tonight. And yes, I know nobody's ever actually seen me drink anything other than red wine on this channel when it comes to wines. I will drink white in case people are wondering if I don't. I will drink white. It's just you're squinting. That's why I've got these magnifiers on. I have to do it with these magnifiers, otherwise I just can't see the individual pieces I'm doing. I can compare it to a snotling if you want, Twisted. That's not that difficult. I actually have some Gretchens and Goblins to hand, so I can actually compare it to what is essentially a snotling from 40k. Which should be, if I grab this box, I think. Nope, that's the one with all the sprues in it. Of course, it's not the first box that I reach for, but it should be this one. So I'll just wait for those couple of layers to dry so I can go back over it again. Let's pull this box out. Movement magazines off the top. And the blades. And that. And that. Yes, there's lots of things on top of the box. I need a Gretchen. I know I've got some in here. No, he's got a backpack. I don't want him. He's too big. So, yeah, we have a Gretchen. And technically, it's not actually the smallest model. I'm just going to pull out the Sparkles Bard. Just because I've just realised the Sparkles Bard is probably technically the smallest one I've done. I've just noticed it's a lot smaller than this cat. So put that box away so I don't knock anything over. That's a good idea. So there you got your Gretchen size, and then you've got your kitty cat size. So yeah, they're not too far off each other. But as I've just realised, you've got a kitty cat, and then you have Sparkles the Bard, who is a hell of a lot smaller, as I've just realised. But doesn't have quite the amount of detail, even though I've managed to get like tinted red hair and stuff. Not quite the amount of detail as what Solan has. But at least it's not the smallest model I've ever painted in my life. Not far off, but not the smallest. Now, back to the greys. Make sure I'm getting that area right. Sorry if I keep looking up like that. It's because I'm trying to see past the goggles and see the tabs at the top so I can go back to the reference picture. Excellent. Right. Okay, so now, yes, I want grey to do a little bit of that little bit of mush down there and the underside of the tail. Is what I want grey for. And I realised I did all that painting a minute ago with a brush I was supposed to do the painting with. Yeah, what can we do, eh? We can stop banging the camera with our heads, with our magnifier is what we can do. And we can actually use the brush we're supposed to be doing painting with. Oh, pardon me. I do apologise. That was not a very nice sound to have coming down the microphone. That brush. Because that brush is smaller and therefore easier to do this bit with. In theory. I say easier. This entire model's not been easy, even though I've now found out it's not the smallest model I've ever done, so I can't give it that little moniker anymore. What I can do though is give it the biggest pain in my head that I've ever done. I'm so looking forward to painting that bear. It's going to be a lot different from painting this because it's just going to be so much bigger. Everything's just going to be big. It'll be like looking through a magnifying glass at this, but without using magnifying glasses. And it's going to be so much more fun. Well, not much more fun. It's just going to be less strain on my eyes. And all that just to get a slightly different tone of off-white on the underside. Because, of course, you want two tones of off-white right next to each other to make things a whole lot easier in your life. So you go for the younger white. I'd say I don't really drink that much, so as long as it tastes good when I do actually get round to drinking it, I'm quite happy drinking most things. So long as they're flat. I don't like gassy things. Well, tell it, I do like them, they just don't like me. So yeah. It depends on the detail, Louise. Like this one, for instance, it's probably going to take me at least an hour just to go through the little tiny dots and the gold bits. I'm getting the nice easy areas done now, which are all the large areas. I've got lots of little dots of red to do, then little smaller dots of orange to go on them, and then in between I've got to paint all the gold bits. Good evening, Ali. Good evening. So now we almost have a full complement. We have Elsie, we have Twisted, we have Beaky, we have Ali. Kirsty will be joining us hopefully soon, but not in the chat room. And who else are we missing? Usually have about five or six people that chat, not including Sparkles, of course, who will occasionally pop up into the chat room. Because she sat behind me, she doesn't really need to. She gets to hear everything that I say, as well as read what you are all writing in the comment section. And then tell me if I do something bad or wrong. So it's handy. It's useful. And seeing as these are all her cats, then yeah, she has to make any executive decisions on colours as I'm doing it as well. Red, yes, we are on red, white tonight, Ali. Thank you very much for the reminder that I do need to stay hydrated. Technically, red wine isn't going to hydrate me that much, but we do what we do. Gold! All right. Now, all these tassels are gold. Because, of course, they are. And this horseshoey thing is gold. And then that horseshoe bit is not only gold, it does have red things on it as well. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. I've just spotted he's got 2 scrolls on him. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. So we have 2 scrolls on here as well now. Let's see if I actually get this. Come on. He's so tiny. I can see why a lot of people have moved over to Gunpla. Just put it together and it's done. You don't have to worry about it. Good evening, Francois. There we are. We have full complement now. I have a full complement of everybody who comes to see me. Yay. Good evening. I hope this is not as snowy for you as it is for us. As well as you, Ali, and Louise, and everybody else. It's been snowing near me. It's not been fun. It's turned to slush already. which means you can't walk down the bloody street without slipping and sliding. Which makes my trip into Manchester Centre tomorrow all the more fun. Because I'm relying on trains for tomorrow, and there's a good chance that they're going to do the usual thing of there's a snowflake on the track, all the trains in the country have had to stop. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Or if it does, they at least put a rail replacement service on. So this should be done with the gold rings. And a bell. Because of course it has a bell. Sorry, and don't give it to Capra. And you're supposed to just eat them. See, that's nice. At least somebody's had a sunny day. At least you've had a nice sunny day, Francois. That's nice to hear. It's not been that nice over near me, so I like that somebody's at least had a good day. That's reassuring. Oh, you're a bit further up than me, Luis. All right, okay, so yeah, you're gonna have got the snow and it's gonna be frosty as well. That's always lovely, isn't it? When it mixes with that rain and just hits the floor to make it not fun, but just dangerous. Just flat out dangerous flooring. It's what we always love to see. Every blooming year. Just once, I'd like it to stick like it did when I was a kid. That'd be nice. To have proper snow. A good few inches thick. That'd be fun. But no. The last time it was like that was about 7 years ago. Maybe even 8. It was quite a while. I mean, it's got to the point now we did have sleds. We had enough for one for each child, but now we got rid of them. We just don't get it enough. Oh, some Cities of Sigmar. Oh, nice. Yep. Dangerous, messy, just generally unpleasant weather when it's in that form. Because when it's snow, it's not too bad because it condenses and compacts underfoot. You don't slip, or not as much as you do once it's got just wet and soggy, which is never good. Wet and soggy is not a good way of having things. Bit of head jewellery. And of course a bloody earring. 2 earrings. 2 earrings. This is one ostentatious cat, I'll give it that much. And an earring in that ear as well. Oh, God's sakes. Any more earrings or jewellery? Anything else that I've missed from last time? Do you all let me know now? Ah, crap. Clean up. I nearly put the bloody paintbrush in the wine then. That wasn't a good idea, was it? Let's use a little bit of water and try and take that paint off if I can. And a little bit of toilet tissue, which is specifically on my desk for this purpose, in case anyone's wondering why I've got toilet tissue. It's so I can have it to absorb water on my desk or below my nose. Let's see, I'm going to catch up with chat as well. I'm just going to pay attention to chat more tonight because it gives me a chance to have a drink. Looking forward to some decent snow up near you, eh? That sounds all right. Twisted, man, you're like right North America, though, aren't you? So you're like where you can get good snow. Yeah, so you're in the same situation that I'm in at the moment, Francois. It hits the floor and then you don't see it until you're slipping on it, and then you realise it's there. It's not the best way to find out that there's snow on the floor. Certainly not. Yeah, snowmobiles do sound like they're going to be fun. If it's anything like driving a quad bike, then yes, it is going to be fun. Ooh. Yeah, you're going to get big. It's going to be a big difference coming down from the mountain, Francois. If you've been up on a mountain and you've come down into a more rural area, well, more urban area, should I say? It's going to be a big difference on your snow levels. And on the amount of response you get for snow as well. Because you won't get a decent response. If anything like Nero's, I won't see anything like a road gritter or anything like that for at least a week and after it snowed, when it's pointless and it's all cleared by that point. Because the snow gritters can't actually get down the roads because they slip unless it's been gritted, which is make of it what you will. But yeah, the gritters need the road gritting before they can actually grit it. That sounds like a tool that's not fit for purpose. Oh god, I'd be lethal on a snowmobile then. I would. I'd be taking people out. Alright. So what am I gonna do about? Well, I know what I'm going to do about the top of the tassels, which are going to be the ivory along with the inlays in the little arm bits. That's going to be fine. I imagine on a mountain, 15 foot of snow a year. That is a lot. That is a lot of snow. I mean, we don't even get 15 millimeters of snow in a year. So 15 feet that's enough to bury me twice. Well, Ali, we're not going to an airport. We're travelling tomorrow, not Saturday, and we're going by train. We're staying mainland England. We're just going to York. So it's going to be train that we're keeping an eye on. But yes, for the same purposes, we've got to keep an eye on whether or not a leaf has fallen on the track and shot down the entire system. So we'll be keeping an eye out on that. We had a flash of thunder earlier, which was... Sorry, we had a flash of lightning, but we didn't get the thunder, which was weird. So you do at least hear it as well. But nope, that was an odd one. Pardon me again. I'm glad I've repositioned the microphone to be over there away from it and pointing down so it doesn't pick up everything that I do. And I'm sure a lot of you are quite happy about that now as well. What was that you saying? Yeah. So yeah, right now I get. It was. I was thinking, what do you mean by a dry seat? And it's just clocked the fact that you've got a roof and stuff to stop the water coming in, unlike a quad bike or a jet ski or something that's just open, potentially like a motorbike. I'll get there eventually. Don't worry. I'll catch up with you. I might not be the brightest spark all the time, but I'll get there eventually. All right. Now let's try and get. Oh God, this is hurt. Right. See, I've not even made a brush stroke on it yet, and I'm just struggling to get the brush and the model in the right position. Let's see. So try and get right in between those. Well, it's really not nice to get in there, but it's done it. And now the clasps that hold in the little pom-pommy things. Lovely. Now, I can't actually see the gaps in this side, which I'm quite happy about not being able to see those gaps. Because if I can't see the gaps, then I can't paint the gaps. Unlike Gunpla, which will have you putting stickers on underneath places where you're about to put other things. Never understood it, but it makes you do it anyway. Okay, while I've got the ivory on my brush, we come back for the scrolls. Okay, so we're getting there. Compared to the purpley black splodge it was earlier, it's now a purpley off-white splodge with bits of gold, which is all it will look like on that camera because it's 720p and it doesn't like focusing for me. You have a good night, Louise. Thank you very much for coming in to join us. I hope you have a good, nice night for the rest of it. Did I send that over? Yep, I did. Just double checking on things because I can't see properly through these, so I do have to look differently. Yeah, you've got to. If you've got the room to do it twisted, then what? Yeah, you've got to really. Nice open space, nice snow speeder. Just fully open it and off you go, steaming across the ice lake, and hopefully you don't find a soft spot. Again, this wind is doing me in. I do apologise. I'll try and limit it as much as I can. But at least we're going to move on to red now. So that's the fur colours done. The gold done. And now we have to move on to the red gems. So we'll move on to the red gems and then we'll come back for the washes. That is pretty, I mean, it's plenty fast enough. 45 mile an hour on dirt roads is plenty fast enough. Especially when those things are making you go bouncy, 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 bouncy. You don't want it bouncing too much. I mean, what was I was on? I think it was a 250cc quad, trying to take it around a menage. Horse little training paddock, in case you don't know what a menage is. And yeah, you have to slow down quickly or throw all your weight to the other side before you flip the damn thing. They are very easy to flip our quad bikes. So I should imagine snow speeders or anything else that's got a reasonably high centre of gravity would be around the same. And if you're actually on a bike, then yeah, they don't necessarily flip, they just throw you off. My only experience on an actual bike is as a passenger. And as enjoyable as it was, I don't particularly want to be going down the motorway on a two-wheel engine with only a pair of leathers and a helmet to protect me. when that great big Arctic lorry's coming tumbling past. And that was certainly a hair-raising moment. So he's got a decent sized wheelbase then. So that sounds like a lot of fun. Get that through woods, or I'd use any off-road area. Sounds like you're going to have a lot of fun with that. Especially if it's hard to tip. Because if it's hard to tip, it means you can throw it into corners a little bit more aggressively. A little bit quicker. Hopefully you can slide it round rather than just straight out, just funking. See, 13k still a lot of money though. That is still a lot of money. Says the person painting little plastic miniatures and probably has a collection somewhere within that region. But it took me 20 odd years to pay for that, rather than if I wanted to buy a vehicle that would make me pay outright there and then for, or at least make me pay it up in a shorter period of time. Doobie-doobie-doo-doo. Okay, nearly done with Little Red Jewels, except for the ones on his head, which I'm not looking forward to. Dot there, dot there, dot there, dot there, dot there, and the dot there. There should be one there, one there. Come on, just the last one. I need one last one. It's there. So I don't know if that's actually visible. It doesn't appear to be visible. Oh, my base was hiding on top of my Space Marine models on the tray that they've been left out on, because that's the army that's near enough ready and finished painted, so I can play the Tyranids. Now the Tyranid army is finished, it's done. I'm just waiting to. I've just got to finish off my Space Marines, but I've been doing the kitty cats recently, so I did find the base, which is that one, and it is a little bit bigger than the base that it's going to represent. So it needs to be that base to represent something like this. This base is a little bit bigger, but I also think the model that I'll be picking up on Saturday is a little bit bigger than this chappy here as well. So it kind of works out nicely. So bigger model, slightly bigger base. I hope. I find out actually how big it is on Saturday. That's when I actually get it in my hands and go, oh dear, it's a lot bigger than I realised. It's a lot bigger than I realised. Oops. And then worry about that from there. He's still going to be my Brutalis Dreadnought, though. He's still going to be the Brutalis Dreadnought. Of that, I'm certain. And there's the Nornile. Where has the Agrax Earthshade gone? Where has the Agrax Earthshade gone? Thanks. So now we get to wash. And then go back over with paints. Oh, we've only been kind of 35 minutes. We're doing all right. I mean, not everyone's staying to watch and see how it goes, but I'm having people popping in and out, which is absolutely fine. As long as I concentrate on what I'm doing. So, get the washing. And I've actually got the proper Agrax this time, rather than that homemade one which didn't work. And I will admit, it did not work. I will throw it away. And next time I order paints, I make sure I order an Agrax Earthshade to go with it. Or an equivalent wash. Although I'm yet to find one, apart from non-oil, that is as versatile as Agrax Earthshade. Like the two basic washes for everything. If you've got those two, you're set. You can go at it. You don't have to worry. I mean, you don't necessarily need a blue wash. You don't, or a green, or a yellow, or a red. You don't need all the specific colours. If you've got Agrax and non-oil, you can get away with just watering down the colours as a bit of a wash and then kind of sticking them over the top of it. It helps you, I wouldn't say lie your way through, but it certainly helps you kind of blend everything in, even over a purple tone, which is what I'm putting it over now. It's like giving it all a sepia wash just so it's all the same tone into itself, rather than it being blatantly like 4 different layered paints all stacked on top of each other. It just helps, blend them all in. See, nicely. Now that once that's dry, I go back over it again with a lighter tone where I need it, and that'll raise those areas back up to where it's supposed to be, particularly around his face and around the top of his tail there. Some areas I'm going to want to leave it quite dark, like the top of the tassels. I will be doing an actual picture of this to put up on Instagram and Discord so people can get an actual look at it properly without just going off what you can see on a 720 resolution screen. So while I wait for that to dry, how is everybody? I hope you've all had a good week. Francois has had a nice week because he's been snowless, which is lucky for them. I'm guessing Ali's had an alright week because you're now home and not driving down the streets. Baletown Green. Actually, that's not a colour I do not have. That's the quite almost bright green, similar colour to this, really. The actual map that I'm using, isn't it? Is it Striking Scorpions type of green? Generally, that kind of bright green, rather than like a dull orc green or an overly bright snotling green, because that's like damn near fluorescent, that one. Baletown Green. I might have to try that. Well, as I don't have it, I'd have to pick it up, but I might have to try that one. It's more green than the map. Right, okay, let's go have a look then. We're going to have a look for Baletown Green. Oh, wow, that is a bright green. That is a bright. For a shade colour, that is really bright green. No, that is closer to an out green, actually. I might actually have an... Have I got a speed paint in that colour? I'm not pulling my paints out. They're too far under. Leave them under there. Concentrate on making this dry. But yeah, that is it's more akin to the green around the F for your name. Kind of halfway between the two, I would say. Halfway between this and the green for your name. And we have a guest for this evening. We have from Rabbit Hole Library, Kirsty.
Oh.
Hello, Kirsty.
Hello, lads.
Why can't I hear you?
Hello, how are you?
I turn my volume
you can't
down.
hear me.
Try again.
Hello? Oh, sorry, got kitten in the way.
No, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? I can hear you, though.
Can everyone else hear Kirsty, or is it just me?
Yeah.
Everyone else can hear Kirsty. It's just me who can't. Wonderful.
That is weird.
Well, this is going to be an interesting one, Kirsty, because everyone else can hear you, but I can't.
Yes. Hang on.
So I can see the mic moving in the bottom corner. And I've just asked Sparkles behind me, and Sparkles can hear you fine. What I might have to do is something I don't like doing.
What's that?
Right. For the benefit of this, I'm going to be running on a delay with a conversation with Kirsty.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I'm having to rely on YouTube's feedback, which is behind on EVMux.
Not good.
See, now Kirsty understands, and now she knows why I'm slightly behind if she says something. So how are you, Kirsty?
I'm good. Being distracted by kittens at the moment. Got two. Leave my charger.
Kittens? Kittens? Oh, go on, put them up on screen.
Hang on. I've got my phone ringing.
Hang on, right, wait a minute. Just as I say something, you would happen. So Kirsty's just going to go answer her phone, and I'm going to look for one of my many dry
Right,
brushes.
I'm back. Okay. There's one.
We are back, right? Okay, so Kirsty has kittens.
There's one. This one is Chatara.
Look at those. There's one of your little terrors.
Yes.
That one's shitter.
Chatara. Thundercats. My nephew named her.
Shitar, sorry.
Come on,
Oh,
Maggie.
Chitara. Chitara, right. No.
Here's the other one.
Right, now it makes more sense.
Yeah, Maggie.
There's the other one. Just the other one. All right, Maggie. You got Chitara and the other one. That's nice, isn't it?
Yes, she's called Maggie from the Rod Stewart song Maggie May.
Maggie. She's a beautiful cat.
Yes, they are. That they are.
So now we have to figure out, hopefully, what this little thing is with. Keep talking, Kirsty, because I'm going to figure out why I can't hear you.
Okay, I'll talk about what these kittens have been doing. Other than keeping me awake all night.
That is just really bizarre.
And trying to destroy charges. Oh, they've already destroyed a set of headphones.
I may have muted you, Kirsty. Could you unmute yourself, please?
Hello, I'm back.
There we
hear
go.
Me?
So I was playing around trying to figure out how I can get your sound. I can hear. Well, I'm still having to listen through YouTube.
That is annoying.
Well, it's not so much. It is because I'm running on the same delay as everybody else.
That's not good.
But so are you. So
yeah, that's good then. I think
it balances out eventually because. I hope so. Anyway, I'm sure chat will let us know if we're completely ruining it for them.
Sure.
Which please do. Please do let us know if this is very off-putting, having us run at two different syncs.
Yeah. Please let us know.
Although we are managing quite all right. We're managing all right, in fairness.
Yeah.
So,
What the heck are you two
so
doing?
going back to when you did your little rabbit hole library dive into Warhammer,
Ah, yes. I butchered
is
some
there
of
any
those.
questions you wanted to ask me?
Yeah. How badly did I mispronounce the names?
Go on then.
Um,
Oh, you got Nurgle completely and utterly wrong.
I thought I had.
Zinch, I had to go back and rewatch it just to make sure that you were trying to pronounce the right one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's the one that starts with TZ, by the way.
Mm.
Corn, you got pretty much spot on. Corn, you didn't really get wrong. You can't get that one wrong.
Oh, that's good to know.
Sl- s- the one that you call, like, I'm not sure how you pronounce this one. I think you call it Sleniish or something like that. You said
Oh, yes. I can't remember what I said, but
that.
that was confusing.
Yeah, that one's Slanesh.
Slanesh. Ah, that's good to know.
Yes,
Slanesh. That sounds
but they're all
similar to.
the different gods of different things. Um, s-
Hang
go
on.
on. Right. This is
Sorry
where it
about
gets
that.
confusing, you see, because I'm answering questions when Kirsty's partway through, and
Mm-hmm. Yes.
yeah,
I think I'll wait
Kirsty
for
answers
you.
the question that I'm asking halfway through me asking the next one.
Ah, I'll wait a few seconds. Oh, yeah.
So
I
I'll paint
knew.
and let Kirsty take the lead for a second while she gets the questions out.
Okay. What is the ward? Because that bit completely confused me. And I still think I'm saying it wrong.
Oh, the warp.
Yes, that.
That, well, you said it quite literally. It is hell. So it's another dimension that runs alongside ours.
Ah, parallel universe.
And every soul has kind of, yeah. So all souls has a presence in the warp when you're alive in our universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you kind of your soul will appear like a little candle almost.
Ah, like Will of the Wisp type of thing.
In that yes, like Will o' the Wisps.
Hmm.
So the gods and all the other demons and stuff like to go nom 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 on them candles.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, and it's also the quickest way for us to travel around the galaxy by poking a hole in it,
Yeah.
poke a small hole in, nipping through, and then popping out of another small hole.
Ah,
But doing that through hell has its problems, as you can imagine.
yeah. Seven. Isn't it the 9 realms of hell? Or is it
So
9
we
layers?
have something. Go. It's the 9. Well, it's sometimes realms, sometimes layers, sometimes circles.
Ah,
So it depends which mythology and which religion you're going through, really.
ah. There are so many different religions and games. Oh, shit.
Because someone, yeah, there are absolute shed loads.
No.
I liked your timing for saying "oh shit" just as I made a mistake.
Stay put.
But I don't know if you can even see those eyes on.
Oh, that is interesting.
No, you can't see Jack Diddley squat. Right. I'm trying to see his eyes, which I've just painted blue.
Oh, you just painted red. That must be annoying to paint.
No, the eyes are blue. The only bit on it is on his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has caused me a headache even now.
Oh,
And last week when I started it, it was causing me a headache as well.
yeah. It would cause me a headache with it being so small.
Well, I have found out
You're
it's not the smallest
not
model I've done. Going back to Sparkle's, if you go back to Sparkle's original model,
Oh my, that is tiny.
I mean, put them layer on layer. It's that is a bard with loot and bags and all sorts. Yeah,
Do not, do not break them.
there's a dagger on there somewhere as well.
Oh,
Oh, don't worry. If I broke it, I'd soon find out from behind me.
definitely don't want to break it, otherwise your missus will kill you.
Seeing as none of these are my characters.
Nah. Well,
Yeah, these are all Sparkles' so far. The known bard and the cats.
well, Sparkle has lovely choices. Cats.
Well, she's also had her eye on another set called Whimsy Isle,
Oh, what's that? Oh.
which are again, it's Dungeons and Dragons animals,
Hmm.
but how's the best way to put it? Um, More cartoony, more comic book.
Ah, that's good.
So it's like big heads, big hands, little bodies.
Ah. Like little orcs. No, not little orcs.
Which yes, it does sound easier to paint.
Doesn't sound easier to paint. It sounds more complicated.
Uh, it, well, no, as I found out, the bigger things are, the easier it is because yeah, you just want big brushstroke rather than having to try and do tiny little dots. Like so with jewels and stuff for these, if I
Mm,
want to do the here, I'll show you. So there's a red bit there. Now
yeah.
I can actually paint it. I don't even need to use magnifying glasses.
Oh. So So you don't need.
and ka-ching, it's done.
Wow.
Whereas, yeah, so I don't need the magnifiers for that. This little thing to get all these little studs here,
Yeah.
and the 3 on the front of his head there, and I can't see it without these. I can't
Oh,
even see it in the first place. Never mind paint it.
yeah. Those things won't be helping giving you a headache.
So no, they're not. They're not. In fact, these are probably the things that are giving me a headache.
Very true.
But I didn't think I'd last an hour, and I have, so I'm all right.
That's good. Congratulations.
Thank you. But I do have one little spot left to do, which is his nose.
Oh, what colour's the nose?
And with that, I'm done. Red, because I have red out.
That's good.
I haven't got any pinks. I have no pinks available. I didn't bring any pinks out, so
You could have done it roughly the
red is
same
it.
colour as the rest of the cat.
What, the nose?
Yeah.
I mean, the very tip of his nose, not the bit around it. I mean, just like the.
Very tip, yeah. There. Oh. There.
Yeah, you're going to show me that cat's not got a pink nose now, aren't you? Just to. Oh. Yeah, but you see, at the very bottom, that very bottom bit is a different colour to the rest of the nose. That just that
Oh, yeah.
there.
Sorry, baby
See?
girl.
So that's why you have to come in and do just a tiny little dot of pink.
Ah. I never noticed that
Or a
before.
different colour. Just so you can see where the nose peaks.
Ah.
Look, this is number 12 now, which, speaking of doing them all, I might as well get them all down, seeing as I've got an hour to go.
Yeah.
So I have now done Mr. Warlock. So Warlock's done with the nice purples and golds. And we have the Druid,
Yep.
which is also using purples.
Oh. Sorry
We
for keep
have
going out of
the
camera.
low key monk, I think,
Oh.
which
Yeah.
has just took a dive onto a desk. We have the Paladin from a couple of weeks ago, which is Barnabas, I believe.
Oh. Gorgeous little cat.
Oh, don't tell me that, right? When I get to Hester in the other set, Twisted,
Mm-hmm.
then we'll have a talk about Caphra's and Aminette's nose.
Oh.
We do have a Bard, which is nicely pinky and goldy with his. If I can get the shine right, you should be able to see the actual strings, but I can't seem to get. I can't get it right.
Have
Right,
you
you little
put
shit, you can go down there.
in,
Sonia, which is Sorry, Kirsty, go on.
I'm trying to think. Have it got like a metallic gold little paint or ink or something?
I have metallic golds. Like that's what that's got on the back of it.
Ah,
So all the yellow bits around here are all gold. Um, I did do the strings with a bright silver, but when I washed them, it kind of desaturated it.
ah. Hmm.
You can still see it if you've got it like I have right in front of me, but the camera's not picking up the little shine,
Ah.
which is a shame. So there's the first six. Sorry, the
Mhm.
second six.
Okay.
Right now, because Twisted said that because uh, he has Abyssinian cats.
Mhm. Hmm.
Have I done the nose pink on this one? Which is what this one is as well. Have I actually done the nose right? In this case, yes, I have. It does not have a pink nose, so
Do you have to fix that?
yeah. No, no, that doesn't need to be fixed now. That's right. Just like the see here, you can actually see the pink on it, just about.
Hmm.
But that's the cleric. I can't believe how many of these I've actually done. I'm just getting the skin tone right on this bald one. I can't remember what the bald ones are called.
Um. Sphinx. Cats. Sphinx. Cats.
I don't think is it a sphinx.
Yeah.
He'll have it written on the bottom. I think. Yes, it is a sphinx. Yes, it is a sphinx.
They're beautiful
Uh,
cats, but I don't like them. They
the
don't have
cleric
fur.
is a Scottish fold.
Ooh, love those.
Uh, yeah, I don't like them either. The sphinx is just not right.
No.
Yeah. So that is all 12 now of the little kitty cats done.
Treat. Thanks.
Not a problem.
Sorry. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right, Kirsty. Don't worry. Don't panic. So, move these two boxes out of the way, and we're going to try and get a nice flat surface-ish. Put them on, and there we go. If we get them at the right angle on here, hopefully this will let them all be nice and easy to see. I hope.
Okay. Sorry about that, lads.
And just to prove how small they are, this is a 12-inch ruler I'm putting. No worries, Kirsty.
Well, I actually have to head
And
off
they won't
now.
even reach all the way across on a 12-inch ruler.
So,
Okie dokie. You enjoy yourself wherever you've got to head off to. Thank you for coming
thanks.
up.
How do you leave this? Ah, lads, how do I leave?
Just close it in the browser. Just close it in the browser.
Okay. All right. See ya.
There we go. See you later, Kirsty. Thank you for coming up. And if you want to check Kirsty out some more, please go check out Rabbit Hole Library. And she will take you down many weird and wonderful places that you didn't even know you wanted to go. And I'm dropping them all off here. So, yeah, they don't even reach the full 12 inches across. So, as long as I leave my Abby like that, I should be okay. She should be okay. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that is all 12 of the Cats and Catacombs Animal Adventures set done. Now, I was going to be worried that a lot of the overlapping colours and themes. Okay, now I'm going to have to mute that because listening to myself and just me talking back is really off-putting. It was okay when I was listening out for Kirsty to talk. I could only hear me talking back to myself, so it was just throwing me off. Yeah, so I have a lot of browns that overlap, a lot of blues that overlap, a lot of pinks, a lot of purples. But even though there is that overlapping colour through a lot of them, each one does seem to stand out quite well on its own as an individual model. I'm quite pleased with how they've turned out. I mean, it did take me 2 sittings to do Solan, and who was the other one that took 2 sittings? There was another one that took 2 sittings. I can't remember who it was. It shouldn't have been Barnabas because Barnabas is pretty much just brown and silver. So I doubt it was Barnabas. Who was the other one? Oh, this is going to do my head in now. Who else got the 2.0? It wasn't anyone else. It was the church. It was the church that got the 2.0. All the cats apart from Solan were done in a single sitting. Solan, luckily for me, was the last one. Took 2 sittings, or a sitting and a half, shall we say, for now. But has turned out quite nice. Quite nice. I'm just going to double check though, because some of this gold isn't pinging enough for me. So I'm just going to come back in and try not to catch that. But on the little tassels here, I'm going to just give them another coating over with gold. When I did the dry brush, it seems to have dulled it a little bit more than I wanted. Along with in there, and along there. Anywhere else? Nope. That appears to be it. It's the only place I got dulled. That's good. That, I believe, is me for this evening. Thank you, Ali. Thank you. I'll find out tomorrow morning for definite whether or not I'm happy with them, because I never tell until the day after when I can look at it in true daylight. But I've not been unhappy so far, so I don't imagine I'll be unhappy with this one either, especially considering I have taken my time with it. And I just spotted somewhere I've forgotten, and it's a really big bloody area, and it's the reason I got the orange out, and Wild Rider Red. And yeah, it's the reason I got that colour out in the first place, and I've just forgotten it entirely because I was too busy concentrating on gold. So, first of all, we do the base layer red, and then we dry brush over it with Wild Rider, which is this big band around the back here. Just completely forgot it and just left it. So, all red, and then as a highlighting colour, I'm going to go back over it with Wild Rider, which is more of an orangey red for a highlighty colour. If anyone wishes to critique me for bad form, go right ahead. just let you know, I got there before you because
Yeah,
I noticed I'm using bad form with my brushes, sir. Bad form, sir. Bad form. It's times like now I could really do with one of them stubby dry brushes.
It was nice there, wasn't she? I wanted that.
As I don't have one, I'm going to have to make do without it. At least for the time being, until I do get one eventually. And let's pop that Wild Rider on there. That's a very, very vibrant colour, so I've got to be careful with it.
So Jennifer always sending photographs of mine.
I just want to catch the top layers. I mean, really, really just the top little bits of those. If I can, and I want to leave all the recesses much, much darker. So there we go. Now he's done. Now. It helps if you actually remember to paint all the bits that need painting, doesn't it? So now we have Solan done. Except for that little bit of gold that I've realised that I've repainted over. It's just going to be repainting after repainting after repainting on this little bit, isn't it? What's that tiny bit near the tail that I've painted over it with ivory too much. So much so that I can actually see it with my naked eye rather than having to catch it with the goggles. And the darker red. Just to catch that. Yeah. There. Yes. Whew. Right, now the cleanup's done. And I've caught the bits that I missed. And I've gone back over areas that I should have gone over. Fur done. Washed. Dry brushed. Details done. Across the board. Don't wave your hands around like that with open paint pots. You'll end up losing them. So, thank you all for coming along on this journey and this little ride to paint all the Cats and Catacombs sets. All 12 have now been completed. I don't know what I'm going to fill my time with now on these extra bits. I will find something, whether it's the whimsy animals or the bear, or I might just turn it into Space Marine Night and just do the Space Marine Army sides, whether you're putting together painting, and have a different one for the terrain building nights, which I'll probably keep as models and musings on the Mondays. Cover my magazines on the Wednesdays, but I don't know what I'm going to do in future for Thursdays. It's the only one we will find that out, and that'll be next Thursday. So thank you everybody who's coming to see me. Thank you, Kirsty, for coming up and chatting with me, even though we had minor difficulties. I'm not sure why that was, but till Monday, I'm going to go enjoy myself for the weekend in a different city than I live in, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you very much, and drive safe.